So you got a big increase in global money supply. When central banks create money, it takes a while for that to filter all the way down into the pockets of people who can then buy crypto. So if we see from January 12th, and we follow the fact that that should be bottom by about 10 weeks, then, end of Q1, we should start getting a big rise in the crypto market as this money that was created here starts filtering its way back into the overall pockets of everyone. But I thought that was pretty fascinating. This thing has followed to a T over 10 weeks. So maybe next time we need to pay attention to this because this predated the peak of altcoins in December. I mean, this would have, Bitcoin has actually held pretty steady. As a matter of fact, is kind of bucked to this trend, but altcoins follow this to a T. So maybe this is something that for Brett and I, we need to start tracking is global M2 money supply in terms of how it affects the overall altcoin market, because that's a really important one. So, I've learned this now. And so moving forward, this could have told us to put a little bit more out of this into cash as we were going to get a big altcoin correction over the last, month and a half, which is exactly what happened. So lesson learned there, but that's really good. I'll keep an eye on this chart moving forward. Now let's talk about, I'm going to skip this for now. Let's talk the last couple days. What happened? So Bitcoin retail and ETF had big outflows over the last day or two to the tune of about $500 million. However, analysts eye the market bottom. The Bitcoin wallets have hit a 5-month low as retail investors sell, while whales accumulate. Billions in institutional outflows continue amid global economic uncertainty. We're going through a bunch of shakeup here with Trump in office. There's a lot of good things happening in terms of long-term, long-tail effects for our crypto bags. For example, the Trump administration with David Sachs being the crypto AI czar, implementing really good policy, stablecoin policy, which we'll talk about shortly. But in the short term, we've also got Trump like a bull in a china shop, just bashing shit around by threatening tariffs and all kinds of crazy stuff. So we're kind of stuck in the middle, just waiting to see how it plays out. So retail investors are increasingly liquidating their Bitcoin holdings amid growing institutional outflows and geopolitical tensions. Number of Bitcoin addresses with a non-zero balance sunk below 52.45 million, which marks an over 5-month low last seen in September 2024. And if you remember, September 2024, that actually was around the bottom, right before we started rip-roaring higher. So that's worth noting. Now, in comparison, the Bitcoin network boasted over 52.56 million such wallets on January 20th, when Bitcoin reached an all-time high. However, most of the selling pressure stemmed from U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs. ETFs recorded over 251 million of cumulative net outflows on February 12th, marking the third consecutive day of net negative outflows. So the last 5 days, we've had outflows from ETFs, amounting to a total of about $500 million. Now, while retail, which is always considered the dumb money, whales have been the smart money. Whales historically buy the blood and sell the greed. So whales have accumulated nearly $3.8 billion amid this dip. Let's see here. So large institutional, large Bitcoin holders accumulated nearly 40,000 Bitcoin, more than 3.79 billion in cumulative net flows within a day on February 5th, when Bitcoin traded below 97.6. So they've been buying this dip. The strong accumulation suggests the Bitcoin bottom may be near. Quote, similar to a pattern observed in September, the local price low, it suggests that these large players might be seeing value at current prices. This could indicate that the market is nearing a bottom and the capitulation phase may be ending. Now, it's worth noting, altcoins certainly have seen a capitulation, down anywhere from 50 to 70% since their peaks. Likewise, when it turns around, they're going to be the first ones to go rip-roaring out of the gate. However, it is fascinating to see that, quote-unquote capitulation on Bitcoin is at 95 to $92,000, right? It's just amazing considering that we didn't even hit those prices until November. It's remarkable.